We are very, very happy to have Mr. Thom Yorke from Radiohead here in the Stupid Studio, also Tony Juniper, eco-hero extraordinaire. Tom, what are you doing here?
I don't know. What am I doing here? I've come for a glimmer of hope. I was reading lots of blogs about it, and I just thought there's got to be something going on. There's, I knew that Tony was coming, and he could blag me in, couldn't you, Tony? Thanks.
I see you've got a press pass.
Yeah.
Professional journalist, are you?
Yeah. Actually, it was a bit tricky at the door. Anyway.
Have you found any glimmers of hope?
Maybe.
Would you like to share?
Yeah, I think the difference maybe now. I mean, I wasn't at Rio, obviously, but I think maybe now the political pressure is different. I mean, well, judging by we sat in on a briefing that Ed Miliband was doing, and he's definitely feeling the heat.
Yeah.
And he's not the only one. Even the Americans are feeling the heat, even though they're not bringing much to the table. That's the difference. And whether that actually means that we get exactly what we need right now, okay, maybe not, I mean, this is all sort of, it sounds all horribly familiar. It sounds like a G8 summit,
Yeah.
Everybody leaves waving a piece of paper going, yeah, it's pretty much there, yep. And then it unravels completely. Hopefully that's not going to be the situation here. I kind of think, I guess logistically it's probably a massive nightmare, but the basic principles are there, and it seems that at least, of course they've knocked all the NGOs out now, but that level of pressure they've never had before. I don't think that politically anywhere, like it's not just in the West either. So like with China's a really interesting thing. I mean, they're really like, they need this to happen, because they're feeling the effects of climate change. So. But
obviously we've known about this problem, and the politicians have known about this problem 30, 40 years.
Yep.
And failed to act, basically.
Yes, but you see, for to quote George Monbiot, for a good many of those years, you and I have been bombarded with the naysayers and the professional denial industry.
Well, indeed, we still are.
You are, but they're fucked. This is their last stand.
The Battle of the Bulge, yeah. I wrote something yesterday describing this as the Battle of the Bulge for the climate change deniers.
Meaning what?
Where they have an impressive counterattack on what is a mainstream inevitability, but it's crushed very quickly and crumbles and has to succumb to the overwhelming weight of evidence which is out there from the scientific community.
Well, we say that, but yet, our film, The Age of Stupid, was screened on the BBC earlier this week, and then they had a debate following it. We're going to see a clip in a minute, where they were saying that it's still open.
The BBC have this hang-up about being impartial. When we launched the Friends of the Earth, when we launched the climate bill campaign with Friends of the Earth, we were literally competing with these people, that every time we went
on. That was
I know.
Ago.
But honestly, this is some weird BBC statute hang-up thing. Yeah. Ignore them, all right? They're a bunch of
we
monkeys.
Can't ignore them. They're the public service broadcaster.
But that's the whole point.
Power.
The public service broadcasting, they've got some hang-up in their remit about trying to be balanced.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to know these fucking monkeys are being paid by the oil companies. No one wants to know. Everybody would like to feel this is going away. Everyone would like to feel better about it, but it's not going away. The BBC have just got some blind spot. Just ignore it.
I think they've got some editors who
That's
possibly
what I'm saying.
they probably
fucking
aren't up
monkeys,
to the job. They aren't up to the job. I got a call the other evening from Radio 5 Live and invited to go on and debate with some climate change denier. And I said, what is the credentials of this person? Are they a climate change scientist with some track record? And the woman said, well, he was on Sky TV this morning. This was his qualifications.
Research done.
Exactly, qualifications to get on.
Actually, the postman.
It's quite incredible, but I do think, that this balance thing, which they're obsessed by and trying to put both sides of the argument. I said to her, would you have somebody on who would say it's good to smoke tobacco because it's not bad for your health, or some of the worst excesses?
They're not that bad.
Exactly, because there are two sides to every argument, but some arguments you don't put the other side because it's socially damaging.
But also,
and on this
there's
one,
99. If there's 99 scientists on one side and one on the other,
I know,
then
exactly.
to have balance, you'd have 99 times more of that side than the one, not one. For
exactly,
me.
indeed, that's another good point.
You just gotta
Ignore
Try
the BBC.
and ignore the motherfuckers.
Well, I think maybe it's time to have a campaign on the BBC to put together what about a proper legal argument linked to the statutes of the BBC, where we could put together a complaint about the amount of airtime.
You know who'd be up for it, don't you?
Who's
Ed
that?
Miliband.
Ed would
he
be up for
can't
it.
stand it. No. It's driving him as mad. The government, honestly, the government hate it as much as we do.
That's a good point, actually. So anybody out there listening who's got the skills to construct such a complaint,
I thought you were going to do it then
working very much with the BBC statutes. Have a look at the BBC statutes out there, people in the world with an internet connection right there. See if it says something that we can use to make a formal complaint to the Board of Trustees of the BBC.
It's a bit of homework for you.
As to why they did change. Yeah, it could be my little girl watching. Maddie, do you fancy having a go at that?
I was thinking more of a lawyer than your little girl.
Yeah, well, she's clever.
We're going to come back to these two. But first we're going to have a video of George Monbiot talking about exactly all these issues.